I feel like I've let us down. Like I've let us all down. 360-degree cameras. I think they're awesome. I just don't know what to do with them. And it's not for lack of trying. There was a time on this YouTube channel where I was really trying to put these things through their paces. There's something so interesting to me about giving control of the viewpoint to the viewer of the video, shooting everything around me and letting you decide where you want to focus your attention. Not having to go out and buy like 6 GoPros to get a spherical video, this democratizes the consumer creation angle in the same way that a GoPro gives you 4K video capabilities without you having to go out and buy much more expensive camera gear. But for all the time that we've spent using these see everything action camera setups, we still haven't really found that killer hook, that angle that really gets consumers interacting with this kind of video, in the way that it's really easy for you to just hold up a phone and record some kind of really terrible video from your selfie camera and share that anywhere in the world on an Instagram-like platform. Picking up a 360-degree camera is still substantially more difficult to get a product that you want to share with your family and friends. And not just shooting the video, but also exporting that video, editing that video, re-rendering, applying metadata so that YouTube knows what to do with it. For all of that effort, there just doesn't really seem to be the audience to pay off that investment in sweat equity. Without that audience, it means we've been stuck at that stage of novelty. We haven't really explored the full potential of these cameras or how they might contribute to some sort of narrative structure or interactive video structure. It's more just, hey, look, I took this camera down to the beach. Oh, look, I'm driving and you can look all around my car. That's pretty cool. But while we try to figure out those narrative questions, those issues with 360 and spherical video, interactive content like that, one feature on the Insta360 ONE kind of caught me by surprise. The Insta360 ONE is another dual lens 360-degree camera. It can function on its own, just like I'm holding it right here, or it's got a little pop port. You can plug it directly into an iPhone to use the iPhone screen as a viewfinder. All pretty standard fare. This is well understood hardware for this type of gadget, but it's in software that Insta360 is doing something a little interesting. Their app has a bunch of controls and editing options, but more than just being able to trim the length of a video or apply a little extra saturation and sharpening, we have a long press capability that can anchor points on your video. And once we anchor those points, we can actually control the viewpoint of that video and produce a normal 16:9 video. Between these two cameras, we arrive at a UHD video for the full spherical view. But if we were to punch in and highlight specific areas of that frame, we could arrive at a relatively decent HD video quality. And in a smartphone app that allows us to anchor points, that gives consumers the ability to pan and rotate throughout the scene, focusing on exactly what they want to show you. We can use 360-degree video to shoot everything around us. And then in post, you can highlight specific aspects of that frame and you don't have to worry about people missing the thing that you want them to see. Or it also gives vloggers the ability to spruce up their videos with some nice panning and tracking shots in one fluid piece of video, changing from my perspective, looking at me, to another location, back to me, and really doing that in a way that you would normally need some other type of gimbal or sometimes a cameraman to pull off. It's early days yet for features like these, and obviously resolution is a big concern when the best we can pull off is kind of a grainy punched-in 1080p. But this moves us into something a lot more practical. This is beyond just the novelty of being able to look everywhere. This is a focused control for the person handling the camera. The fact that we can pull that off from a smartphone app, you long press on the screen, you kind of wiggle the video around, you push export, you have something that's focused and ready to share, is very encouraging for the future of these types of cameras. I've put out that call on several other videos. What can we do to try and build a little bit more interest in 360-degree video? It's been a really tough challenge, and even I've backed off on the number of experimental videos or vlogs that I've been trying to produce in 360 degrees. We're moving farther into the worlds of augmented reality and virtual reality, and this is going to require an entirely new language of creation in how we compose shots and how we light them, how we produce and capture sound, and how we edit. And we have a long ways to go before you can just pick up a run and gun and get something that someone's really gonna want to consume by strapping some kind of visor onto their face. We're at the crossroads of novelty and practicality, so I really want to hear your thoughts. Is there some way that we can encourage more consumer content creation? Beyond just the cameras on our phones, what other tools tools can we use to empower that content creation? And how can we encourage more people to consume content which is a little outside the norm? I'll of course have some links down below this video where you can find more info on the Insta360 ONE, maybe shop one of these puppies online. As always, thanks so much for watching, for liking, for sharing, for subscribing. In addition to the Insta360 links, there will be other links on how you can support production on this channel, not the least of which is the master link of partnerships that I now have on SomeGadgetGuy.com. If you want to get yourself some OnePlus accessories, or if you want to get some really cool video games, or if you want some audiobooks, or if you want to buy my photography book, or the direct way of supporting production on this channel is of course my Patreon, where you can get early access to videos. It's the home of all of my future camera and audio reviews. Those are going to be Patreon exclusives moving forward, and just some other fun perks too, and conversations. It's a really fun community that's building up over there of like-minded tech geeks who are all trying to find some really fun stuff to play with. You know where you can find me around the rest of the internet, at SomeGadgetGuy on the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the Twitters, and I will catch you on the next video.